G'day folks, welcome to an Cyclone Chasers Cyclone video update to the public. Today, the 29th of December 2015. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update is sponsored by our major sponsor, Campbell Scientific Australia, when measurements matter. Just a quick heads up to our subscribers and potential people who might want to subscribe. Our weather centre is now in beta mode and we have satellite and radar available for subscribers. So once you log in, just click on the weather center and it'll take you to satellite and radar. Remember, it is beta mode, so have a play around with it and let us know of any bugs. More details were in your subscriber email sent out earlier today, so check your email for details on how to best use the weather center. Okie dokie, as night falls across the east and evening begins across the west, we can see here that in the lower levels of the atmosphere we've got a southerly pushing northwards here. You can see all this low cloud, some shower activity associated with that on the southeast coast districts of Queensland. On top of that, as a veil or veneer, we have these westerlies pushing across in the upper levels, and those westerlies are providing light patchy rain across most of the central and northern parts of Queensland. And if it's not providing you with light patchy rain, it's just providing you with cloudy, cooler conditions. Further to the north, though, we see this heavier area of convection shown by radar, and in this area here where there is a radar black spot shown by satellite, we can see some fairly heavy convection associated with the monsoon and streaming down here from the west, northwest or northwest into northern inland Queensland. And what we can see if we use a little bit of imagination, doesn't take too much imagination, but what we can see is a stream or a line pushing into our low pressure system over the eastern half of the NT. Now that line is crossing probably just a little south of where I put it there, probably around Cairns, and is associated with convergence and stronger shower and storm activity. Elsewhere across Australia, we can see up here in the north, we've got some decent shower and thunderstorm activity developing right around the top end region and just offshore of the top end coast as well here in a westerly flow. But that low is doing everything it can to pump drier air into the Northern Territory, and it will probably succeed over the next few days. Across the Kimberley, we're seeing very isolated showers and thunderstorms, a lot more isolated than what we would expect for this time of year. Some of them popping up on radar, most of them, once again, radar black spots. Further to the southwest, we can see some isolated showers and thunderstorms becoming a little bit more scattered as we move into the Gascoyne coastal regions as well here, as they develop ahead of an upper level system here. Now, those particular showers and storms, once again, probably going to just die before the coast, but they might get quite close. And you can see here they're all forming right along that sea breeze convergence front area here, right there. So that's as the sea breeze kicks in, brings in a little bit of moisture, helps to kick off those storms around mid-afternoon. This is very much a feature of the Pilbara and Kimberley thunderstorms. Enhancing those storms is a weak trough line as well, which is located there very clear to see on the satellite. Now this is our low. It's probably a little bit south of where the Bureau have put it there, and we've got that monsoonal trough probably in a little bit more of a northeast southwest orientation than the Bureau have plotted there. But we've also got a low pressure system up here in the Solomon Islands, but that will definitely not affect our weather. Now, we do, over the last 24 hours, we've seen moderate to heavy falls across northern inland Queensland, so areas like Townsville, Charters Towers, even further south towards the Claremont area, or just to the north of Claremont here. We saw slightly less rainfall than expected across the Flinders Highway here. However, as we went into the northwestern parts of Queensland, we saw pockets of fairly heavy rainfall as well. Lawn Hill Station up here, I believe, got around about 100 or 150 millimetres for the day. As we moved into the interior parts of the Northern Territory, as the computer model showed us, that was going to be the hot spot, and it certainly was. 200 to 300 millimetres were falling in this convective area that just sat there for hours and hours and hours and just kept dumping very heavy falls of rain. Further to the north, we had some showers and thunderstorms across the northwestern top end. Very isolated shower activity coming in on a westerly stream here, so it was mostly moving parallel to the northeast top end coast, but they still managed to get some isolated shower activity from that. Across the Kimberley, also isolated showers and thunderstorms, and a couple of Pilbara storms which almost made it to the coast yesterday. Not too many places in North Queensland can complain over the past week. They received a lot of rainfall. 50 to 100 millimetres has been standard pretty well anywhere north of about Townsville, possibly north of about Ayr, in fact, and moving westwards all the way through to the border regions of Queensland NT, and obviously the northern interior of the Northern Territory certainly would have nothing to be complaining about in terms of the lack of rainfall. They probably would have something to complain about in terms of too much rainfall. So it's been a very pleasing sight. It's certainly not drought breaking for central and southern Queensland, but it could potentially be, with some more follow-up rain, the possibility of drought breaking rain for the northern inland parts of Queensland. However, the follow-up rain is vital. So let's talk about the next few days. Alright, tomorrow our low is on the move to the south. It's probably already starting to be on the move to the south. What we can see then is that moisture streaming into that low pressure system right in through here, through the peninsula, into the northwest part of Queensland, and another probably feeder band right in here over the eastern Gulf of Carpentaria, western peninsula. So all of that will feed into whatever's left of that low. You can see conditions anywhere south of about Ingham to Cardwell tend to fine up. Still the possibility of moderate to heavy falls, more moderate falls further to the north in the Innisfail all the way through to Cooktown area on that southeasterly stream as it interacts with whatever's left of the monsoon, which will become quite weak here over the next couple of days. Now, on Thursday, the ridge pushes right up the coast of Queensland. Not too much happening now at all, but the low still remains in place here across eastern parts of the NT, continues drifting south, dumps a hell of a lot of rain in the desert, and also continues to be fed with moisture here from the Gulf of Carpentaria. So the northwest part of Queensland, not over for you yet. On Friday, if we move on to Friday here, we can see that the low starts to slow, if not begin moving, let me get these words right, begin moving slowly to the east. And so you can see here southwest, western Queensland in general starting to see an increase in rainfall. The northwest continues to see that rainfall, and we start to see an increase to just isolated showers and thunderstorms developing through the northern inland parts of Queensland, as well as moisture starts to come back in. And that's good news, because initially we were fearful that this ridge that was building up the coast was just going to fine everything up, and that was it. There was not going to be any follow-up rain. Chances are that there's going to be some more patchy shower and storm activity there on Friday. Now on Saturday, though, that activity begins to become a little bit more scattered, a little bit more general. That low is expected to drift to the east, and we're expecting to see moderate falls of rain across western and possibly central Queensland now. Nothing on the coast yet, but their turn will come into the future. If we take it back, take a look back here at the Northern Territory and have a look at how they progress through, you can see that low as it drifts to the east. We see dry southerly air pushing into the territory, into a dry season air mass almost, and we only have very isolated showers and thunderstorms expected over the next number of days. So if we take a look at the GFS ensemble and we have a look at what this low is expected to do, you can see a gradual shift here to the south, and the ensemble then keeps it around that southwest Queensland region. You can see the low pressure. Now this is an average ensemble, so the ensemble average I should say. So it means that there's different model members that might have it pushing back to the Gulf, different model members have it pushing to the east, but this is in general the overall average that we're looking at here. So you can see a general shift here to the east. The low sort of flattens out or washes out into a trough system. That trough system pushes in an easterly direction, you can see here across central Queensland, and it is likely to bring in a fair amount of shower and thunderstorm activity across central and northern Queensland. Now that's a little bit different to the European. With the Euro model, we have that low there tracking in the southwest, then south, and then east direction across the southwest parts of Queensland into the southern and central parts of Queensland here. Now you can see the Euro 2 has washed it out into a trough, but the difference here is that the Euro still keeps it as a little bit of a deeper system in terms of its convective structure, and because of that, it pushes it in a more easterly to southeasterly direction, whereas the GFS model wants to drift it back towards northern Queensland. The Euro model wants to keep it around that southern to central Queensland. Now, as we go into the future, though, you can see it's just one big trough system right in through here, and on top of that, we've got a very sharp upper level trough coming through Queensland as well. The combination of those features is likely to result in very strong showers and thunderstorms with a fair amount of severity to those showers and storms as well in that particular situation. We have a high pressure ridge here in the Tasman. We have a trough slash upper level trough as well. So the combination here could be quite lethal in terms of the strength of these systems. They're going to be very strong thunderstorms in this type of setup. So definitely the area to watch remains Queensland into the longer term with the computer models, because of the possibility of some crazy wild weather from this particular low pressure system well into the future, though. So we are looking now at this out to the 7-day mark, 7 to 8 day mark. So it's a long way out, folks. So, but I just wanted to show you the two different solutions into the longer term, folks. Because this is now no longer suspect for tropical cyclone development, there is no need for us to be updating you any more frequently than weekly. Of course, keep an eye on our Facebook social media updates. If you're a subscriber, we'll keep you in the loop as to what's going on. If you're on Facebook and social media, we'll keep you in the loop of what's going on with the future of this low pressure system in terms of what it could bring shower and storm wise across central, southern and northern Queensland, and possibly extending that into the coastal areas of Queensland next week. Across the west and the north, status quo, folks. Fairly dry, fairly stable through most of the region in a monsoon break condition now, so we're not expecting to see too much weather around at all across northwest and northern parts of, northwest parts of WA and northern parts of the NT. Looking at a pretty dull period of weather coming up. In saying that, Northern Territory, you know what the go is. You're always going to get those showers and thunderstorms, but they will be much more isolated than what we would normally expect for this time of year. Just a final reminder, if you're a subscriber, check out your weather centre. If you haven't, it's subscribed to OCC and you'd like to do so, it's a pretty exciting time to do so. So head to ozcyclonechasers.com.au/subscribe and help us document tropical cyclones. I'll talk to you again next Tuesday. Have a great week. Enjoy your New Year's Eve celebrations. Party hard, party safe.